mean, I always find something. There's going to be something. It could be something amazing. It could be something never seen before. We could find evidence of man. And this, I think it's a dinosaur bone. There's quite a big hunk of mammoth tooth. But see stuff like this that I find, and a rib bone. You have to go where only 100 people have been all year.
Bear's been in here.
I've spent the night here at 50 below zero. Look, hear that sound? This could be a fossil. My 1950s fuel tank. See that steel tank? In itself, most tanks are plastic and bears can chew through it. So the steel, the bears can't chew through it.
They'll chew through even if there's gasoline?
They like gasoline for some reason. It's a fossil-related product, animal product.
Yeah.
So this is a swift corner that you don't want to get in trouble in and float through that. There's some swells here, and you don't want to get into the rocks and metal over here if you're floating. This is important to me because when I fossil hunt, and that's something to take note, you don't want to go where everybody else goes on the highway, the river highway. You want to go where nobody's been in a while, because if there was a tusk, somebody else found it. You want to be the first one. I'm looking around asking myself, what am I looking at that people in civilization would put a value on and want to see? It might be herbs, it might be an interesting hunk of wood, a rock, a fossil. And that's what I want to bring back to civilization. There's not a lot of ways to make a living when you have that dream of being out in the wilderness. You have to learn how to work for yourself. I had a tusk one time that fell out of the cliff, and the rest of the cliff was going to fall on top of it, so I had to go in there and get it really fast so the tusk and I wouldn't get buried. Mm-hmm. And I went in there and I picked it up and put it on my shoulder and ran and got it in the boat, and when I got home it took 3 people to lift it.
Wow.
But that adrenaline rush when I was there, oh, I wanted it. I wasn't going to let it get down. Choose this as a lifestyle, it's got a price to pay. It's got rewards, but you have to realize what you're not going to have, the protection of civilization.
Right.
You're out here, you don't call 911. If you do, they don't care because you're not paying the bill. You're not paying into the tax base. Oh, another shallow. Head across this thing again. Tell by the way the water's rolling. See, that's only a few inches deep right now.
By the way the water's rolling, you can see how deep that river is.
So the water was high and from all the rain, and now it's dropping fast, and so it takes a little while for the river to open up the silt channel. But the nice thing is there's not rocks on the bottom, and when you hit bottom, it's just going to be mud. Not a lot of boats come running through here. They don't know how to read the water. They're worried about getting stuck. They don't bother. They're trying to go where other people don't go. Like if you think you're going to get in your car and go along the road and find a mammoth tusk, it's not going to be that simple. You're competing with a 500,000 other tourists that want to do the same thing. You have to go where only 100 people have been all year. To me, a boat is one good way to do that. You can use a backpack and head out, but not many people are in good enough shape, and if you find a tusk that weighs up to 300 pounds, how are you ever going to get it out? You can take pictures and that's it. Not as many brown bear because they eat black bears. So if you see brown bears around, there probably won't be very many black bear. Black bear around, that means there probably won't be a grizzly around. But more people get hurt by black bears that are more aggressive than the grizzly. It's like a big guy doesn't have any reason to be intimidating. His size alone, a lot of times they're happy-go-lucky guys.
Yeah.
The ones you gotta watch out for are guys like me. The little feisty one. This is we're gonna go in and see my little cabin where I stop. And look up ahead here where we're headed, and see, and it doesn't look like we can get through. See, fairly fresh moose tracks. See the 2 imprints? Oh, with a calf. Look, a baby calf. So it's a mama and her calf are here. They might even be up here in the woods. So a bear has knocked over all my buckets and left paw marks on the door. See the bear tracks? Yeah, I put nails there, but see paws on the door? Yeah.
Bear's been in here.
So I have this sign on here, it's basically saying it's mine, but in an emergency you can call and you can get in here if you need to stay here. Right up. See, this is a little warm-up place. I've got a stove, propane, I can cook. To the civilized, it doesn't look much, but compared to sleeping out in the rain and under the trees and bugs, it's nice. I like it small so I can heat it up really easily. Even a lantern would warm this up. But in the winter, I've been here at 50 below by snow machine, and this will keep it nice and warm. I've spent the night here at 50 below zero. I got the propane for the stove, and I've got a propane light here, a clock. This is all food stored in tins so that the mice, and see, I've got pickles I made myself, dehydrated foods of all kinds. Oh, a bear did get in here,
Okay.
and all he did was didn't touch anything but took my sleeping bag. And I said, huh. And I go out and I look across the creek from the boat, and in the distance in the woods I see my sleeping bag. So I go over there, and he hauled it out of here, hauled it across through the water, and didn't tear it, and he slept on it. Yeah, there's a beaver. He's the difference mentally between an herbivore and a predator.
Still certain.
An herbivore knows how to defend himself, and a predator knows how to attack.
I definitely feel a sense of peace out here.
I
Special
relate
feeling.
it to a Zen. I refer to it as a Zen thing. Where you want to hum and, tune in with the vibes from nature. That's another part of a movement, back to the land, back to the fossils is only one aspect of a whole lifestyle. It might be the door that you open and come in, and then once you discover fossil hunting, you discuss this that goes along with the lifestyle and say, wow,
Yeah.
I want a home where I'm finding my fossils. Wow, I want to get away from the rat race. And it kind of all becomes one package. I mean, it's all about life. All through this one little, you say one word, you know, bone rush, and you're saying it all. So I'm here in this spot because the water just dropped, as you can see, and left a lot of mud here. Nobody's been by here in a while, and I'm wondering there could be some fossils that got washed up. This is just a prod. It can be a pole with a nail in it, but this also gets me fish and frogs, so I keep it in the boat. And I go along, and you hear that thud sound, and it sticks a little bit in wood. So I'm going around and I'm tapping everything as I go along, seeing what I might find. And then I come over and hear that sound? It's almost like a rock, so this could be a fossil. I came up this creek that not many people can come up. You see how narrow it is. My boat is, in fact, I don't even have room to turn the boat around. I've got a long, narrow boat, special just for fossil hunting. So this used to be a lake that I used to come into. You see how it's all dried up now. But that's good for fossil hunting because what might have been on the bottom of this lake could be dead mammoths. This whole area now has been unexplored. The water just dropped, and for the first time in history, we're able to see the bottom of a lake and check it out for fossils.
So we're on a lake, or it used to be a lake.
Yes.
At one point you would drive your boat on this.
Oh, come here and duck hunt. I built a cabin on it. Now I can't even get
Can't
to
even
it.
get to your cabin.
No,
You used to be able to get there by boat.
Yes. Motor across the top of all of this in 5 foot of water.
So what do you think about global warming?
My honest opinion is it's a cycle, but it's a natural cycle. Every 10,000 years there's a glacier period and a warming trend that I think man has some effect, but not a huge effect like he says. But even if we had an effect of 50 or 100 years out of 10,000 years, how much effect is that really? I mean, it means a lot to us living that long, but on the timeline, it's a drop in the bucket. Logic tells me when you look at history and the layers of ice and how everything got deposited, studying glaciers and the carbon layers and dating trees that are thousands of years old, it all says the same thing, that there's climate change, but that it's natural. But I lived on $2,000 a year for 25 years. My grocery bill for 25 years, I tried to keep under $200, $300 a year.
What would you buy at the grocery store?
Sugar, flour, beans, peanut butter, cornmeal, about everything else I could supply. My first cabin, you'll read, cost me $100. I bought a window and a doorknob. Everything else I supplied from the land.